It's still October. Welcome. What is this? Episode number 666 of the franchise?
Yeah. It's episode 124.
I love it.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. I am your host, Daniel Scarenberg, on the ones and booze. And, and here
God, I give up on those intros. I can never outdo you no matter what.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm boring old Henry. Straight on the Garden State Parkway down to sweet old Atlantic City. Welcome, everybody. Episode 124. We have a very special guest this week.
We do. Hey, you just heard that theme song up front, gang. And someone actually wrote and recorded that thing. I'll tell you what. One of those people's Henry. He got there on his old 6-string shooter. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And but he had a pal. Who is it, Hank?
That pal was a dear friend of ours, Jason Anthony Harris. Welcome, Jason.
Hey, fellas. Thanks so much for having me.
That's right. Now, Jason, you have a new record coming out. Is that true?
No, maybe next year. Yeah.
It's in the works. It's in the works.
Yeah, I missed that too, buddy. Yeah. I thought you did. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Public Speaking is your outfit over there in Brooklyn, New York, and you record experimental pop rock music. It's not pop rock, but it is. It's hooky.
Enough.
It's hooky.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, there's some hooks.
Sure, hooks and jukes and crooks, and. Now, you're recording new music though. That's it's happening.
That's right. I took a long break from performance, but I'm performing again. I've got some upcoming shows. I'm writing new music, playing new music, but no new recordings until maybe next year.
Plug the shows up front because people tend to turn this baby off after we're done talking about the movies.
Oh, I'll be at the Strand bookstore on November 26th.
That's interesting. I once interviewed for a job there. Didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
But I'll be playing there on November 26th in the Rare Books room. And then I'm playing...
that room is awesome.
It is really awesome. It's beautiful. I went there today to check it out. And I'll be playing December 13th at a record store called Human Head Records in Brooklyn.
Human Head Records. Now, where in Brooklyn is that? I'm going to guess probably a Williamsburg situation.
It's like an East Williamsburg situation, I think.
Sure. East.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a good store. It's a great store.
Any record store that exists today is a great store,
I guess if they're hanging on, they're a good store.
We're going to talk about... Listen, last time you were on, Jason, we were talking about Halloween, right?
That's right, we were.
What episode was that? Which Halloween outfits did we cover?
It was the weird one without Michael Myers. You know, what is that, 3?
Season of the Witch, yep.
Season of the Witch. Yeah. And then 4, which was kind of right back to your basics.
All right, so we bring you on for random, forgettable horror franchise entries, and here you are back to cover.
And it's very funny, folks, our listeners here. It's not been intentional that Jason has become our de facto Halloween guest. It just seems to work out that way. I think we should do this again next year.
I think so too, but I think maybe we got to go the other way and have you on in like a few months or something, cover like Miscongeniality or something.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Sound good, right, Jason?
That sounds fantastic.
We've been bullocking all over the place lately.
We have been.
Yeah. So we're covering Nightmare on Elm Street 5 today. That's the Dream Child, for those of you keeping count at home. And there's also Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare, of course, part 6 of 9. And so that's what we're doing today. Part 5, it's a continuation of the part 4, right? So... I always get all these confused because we're just doing random titles with the word dream messed around in them.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're Dream Warriors, then the Dream Master, and now we're at the Dream Child.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I did a rewatch. I did 1 and 2. I wanted to do 3 and 4, but I was out of town, so I didn't get to see them. But I know I've seen them when I was a kid. I had to listen to you guys talk about them and try to relive them in a way. So coming into 5 was a bit strange.
I feel like that is strange because starting with 3, I feel like we're doing almost a trilogy from 3 to 5 because we introduce, Alice and all that shit in 4, and Alice is a direct descendant of what's her name over there from number 3, Kirsten.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kirsten.
Is that what she is? What I was trying to figure out the connection.
Well, they were pals, and when Kristen got killed, she transferred her Dream Warrior powers in a burst of light.
Yeah.
So, what is your relationship, Jason, to the Nightmare on Elm Street series?
What a question.
Thank you. That's taken directly from Dan's general question he generally asks me.
That's from the old D-Train playbook. I love it.
Yep. I pull it out every once in a while. Yeah.
I pull it out every once in a while, too, but never in public, gang. All right.
Nope.
That was a dick joke. Jason, go ahead.
Until very recently, I hadn't rewatched these, but I know that I had seen every single one of them when I was a kid. I used to watch a ton of horror movies at way too early of an age. My parents were never stopping me from watching them. And I remember Freddy scaring the hell out of me. I remember being really frightening and kind of forgetting how goofy they are.
Well, but they're, he's scary in like the first 2, maybe 3, and then it gets really goofy.
Yeah, well, he's still like the first 2 were still, they had more comedy than I remembered. And
true,
and
but he's not like
his
punning.
Incessant laughing. He's not punning as much. That's true.
God, the laughing really got to me in this 6th one. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But my God, he is just tickled by everything he says.
He's delighted. He is delighted by everything.
Yeah,
a lot more facial expressions in 6 too.
Well, I feel like we're downplaying the burns to the point that it's almost like we're not even supposed to think they're burns anymore. It's part of his face. Like we see Freddy as like a baby, and he's already got these burns.
Yeah, it was a rough pregnancy.
What's going on with that? Because he has him as a baby.
Because he grows up to be a normal man.
He grows up to be a normal man, and then he's burnt. It's almost as though his destiny was to be burnt. Can you imagine being born with flame face, and then maybe you have like reconstructive surgery to get it fixed? But then the irony is you're murdered by an entire town by incineration.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's a tale as old as time, gang.
Tale as old as time.
What's that?
Angela Lansbury, who I believe came up a couple of years ago on this show for some reason. I don't remember why.
Lansbury?
I think you said she looked like a male lead of something we covered, which was pretty funny.
That's possible.
Did she do a cameo in Freddy's Dead?
I would have loved it. Man, there are some fucking cameos in that movie.
Right?
Yeah. We'll talk about it. If they remade Freddy's Dead, they might have to call it The Connors. Am I right?
That's good.
Thank you. All right. Let's talk about, A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, all right? It's directed by a fellow we've talked about before on the show.
That's right.
Stephen Hopkins, all right?
That's right.
A Jamaican fella who's white. Very interesting guy.
Right, we remember that. Right. Predator 2.
Predator 2, yeah.
He
I like that Predator.
Predator 2, it's too dark.
Oh, it is dark. It's no Predator 1, but I still enjoyed it. I did a rewatch of that a few months ago.
Sure, just turn the lights on, all right? Oh, that's right. We made jokes that he connected to Predator because of the dreadlock situation.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he did Predator 2 right after Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. I guess he impressed the studio because Dream Child, they like rushed into development and he was able to like get it in under budget in a very short time.
Yeah.
So, Hollywood was like, well, he must be an artist. Let's give him the Predator sequel. He
Are
went
they
on.
going to bring him back for Freddy versus Predator? Or
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it.
That's an idea.
No,
right
not
there.
Freddy versus Predator is no good. Jason versus Predator, my friend. Because Jason, he hangs out in the woods every so often with like, a bow and arrow.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might meet up. Yeah.
Let's
goes to Nicaragua.
It's true. Jason does. Hey, Jason, growing up with the same name as Jason, did that ever bother you or help you with the ladies or something?
I don't think. I think it was occasionally mentioned in an uncreative way by some little punks in elementary school.
Yeah.
But I did dress up as him once.
Oh.
How old were you then?
That was kind of fun. I don't know, maybe 10.
10.
By dress up, I mean put on the mask.
Yeah,
and
did
probably
people
some
know
really lame
you were Jason, or did people just think you were going as like John Van Beesbrook?
I can't see them. I don't know. I got some candy. That's all I know.
Hey, that's all that matters ultimately. Hey, this guy's career, what a career, Henry. I feel like he's made some movies I've liked.
I agree.
After Predator 2, he made Judgment Night. And that's a good movie.
I think I saw that when it, like, not in the theater, but I remember seeing it after. Isn't, like, Dennis Leary in that or something?
It's the early 90s. People thought maybe Dennis Leary was going to be a movie star.
And then, you know what? He's in that movie that was a very strange anomaly in your opinion and my opinions of Michael Douglas. Don't you find merit in kind of like, in a silly way, the Ghost in the Darkness?
I like the Ghost in the Darkness quite a bit.
And I don't like it at all.
At all?
I couldn't. I don't like it.
I remember enjoying it. It's been a while, but
yeah.
Is Dennis Leary just like Andrew Dice Clay for liberals?
Wow, that's pretty well put.
How about that?
It's pretty well put. I mean, I remember Dennis Leary when he used to do those MTV spots, black and white spots, and he would just make like, hey, what do we got? Hey, that's all it was.
That's his style. He's like,
right.
I immediately mistrust comedy when the comedian is trying to make you think he's cool. That's like the antithesis of comedy.
That was his thing, man.
All right. After Ghost in the Darkness, he made Lost in Space. That kind of killed his career.
That's the Heather Graham vehicle, right?
Henry, nobody has ever described that movie as a Heather Graham vehicle. She's in it.
William Hurt vehicle.
Yeah, William Hurt, Gary Oldman. I think you got a little Mimi Rogers in there.
That's right.
Sure.
Scientologist Mimi.
I think you got Lacey Chabert.
Don't know who that is.
She's the youngest daughter from the Party of Five.
Well,
she's also one of the Mean Girls.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So then he went into TV, as people do. I think he directed one or two more movies. The Reaping, I see here.
I saw that.
What was that, Swank?
Yeah, it's real bad.
Isn't it crazy in hindsight that as a country we gave Hilary Swank 2 Oscars?
I actually like Hilary Swank. I like her. What did we? She won for. Oh, you're right. 2.
Boys
right?
Don't Cry, right?
Right, and then I forgot
Brandon Tina,
and then $1 Million Baby, right?
Yep, she was the titular $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, and then Stephen Hopkins' last film was that movie I had no interest in because it just did not look good, even though the subject matter was interesting.
What's that?
About called Race.
He directed
Jason
that?
Sudeikis. Yeah, Jason.
Wait, Jason Sudeikis? I thought it's about black people.
Yeah, it is, but.
Why is Jason Sudeikis the star of it?
Well, he's not. It's about Jesse Owens and the 36 Olympics, but Sudeikis.
It's about the race wars, right?
Right.
Yes, it's about the that race at the end of the first Fast and the Furious movie.
And he obviously likes William Hurt because he's in that too. So they've worked together twice.
The
Hopkins Hurt connection.
He went to Hurt and was like, let's recapture that Lost in Space magic.
Yeah, and anywhere else you would say the Hopkins Hurt connection, I would think you mean Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt, but we're not talking about those titans.
No. Okay, so this movie, it's got 3 story credits, John Skip and Craig Spector, but ultimately it's written by a fellow named Leslie Boehm. All right?
Like the opera?
Yeah, exactly like the opera.
Okay, all right.
He's written a lot of random movies. He's probably best remembered for maybe Daylight, the Stallone movie.
That's an entertaining movie.
Yeah, it's great.
That's an entertaining movie.
He also wrote Dante's Peak.
That is not so entertaining.
That's
but I think
very
you like
entertaining.
Yeah, you like that. It's up your alley.
He also created that Alien miniseries, Taken. Remember Spielberg did that?
I remember asking your opinion on whether I should watch that because I kind of like alien movies, and I think your opinion was essentially no.
Isn't it funny how bad Steven Spielberg's TV output is?
It's true, right?
Yeah, I mean, fine, Band of Brothers and all that shit, but every couple years, there's a hugely marketed alien show that Steven Spielberg's involved in, and it's always terrible.
Yeah, but he's not. Is he ever really directly involved with them?
I don't know. Who gives a shit? I think Taken, he was at least on set a little bit.
I will find you. I will kill you.
Oh, right. That's a different Taken. They got to the title first. Spielberg and this guy.
Taken.
Released August 11th, 1989. Nightmare
You just got
on
that
Street
joke,
5.
right, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh, it was a Gump joke? Yeah, all right. Pretty good.
Taken.
Yeah.
Seat taken.
Seat take. I used to say that on the bus, when I was a kid. I used to want to fuck with people like people fucked with Forrest.
Right, sure.
Okay, so you might recall that the last Nightmare on Elm Street movie cost $13 million to make and made $49.4. We reached a breaking point. This comes out 1 year later and apparently was rushed into production. It was written and made and edited in the space of 4 months.
Jesus.
Yeah. On a budget of $6 million. They halved the budget from the last one, even though the last one was a hit. And people noticed. It only made $22.2 million at the box office. It came in at number 47 at the box office. It made slightly less money than Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Wow.
And slightly more money than a movie called Dad. Do we know what that is, Henry?
Yeah, wait, yeah. I want to say Ted Danson and Jack Lemmon.
Henry, you're amazing at this. Jack Lemmon and Ted Danson. Here it is.
I'm having an on day. I don't know.
That's an incredible pull.
Thanks, man.
Written and directed by Family Ties creator Gary David Goldberg.
Couldn't have told you that.
All right.
All right, yeah.
Successful businessman has to take care of his father after his mother has fallen victim to a heart attack. Although they've become estranged to each other, they finally succeed in coming together again. All right?
Putting it on the queue now.
Oh, guys. Stephen Hopkins has disowned this film.
Right, I read that, and I don't know. Should I give a little spoiler alert then?
What you kind of liked it?
I think it's the best one.
That's insane. Although, not the first time I've heard that opinion. I watched this with Rachel, Henry, and this is her favorite one so far.
Really?
Yeah. And
I gotta say, it might be my favorite too.
Look at that.
I don't know what's happening here.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen 3 and 4 for a very long time, but it's the one I've enjoyed the most.
I mean,
so far.
obviously, I'll get into why, but
Right.
not being a fan so far of much of this, it definitely had a lot going on in it that I think I found missing from the whole what I construed to be the point of a lot of these movies, and I think it delivered for me. So, but that's still not saying it's a glowing review, but Yeah, so far.
All right,
I
well, look,
definitely-
I don't want to get too much into my opinion on things yet, but I
Right.
certainly don't think. I mean, if we're putting this movie up to the oeuvre of Stephen Hopkins, I think he can be okay with this movie.
I agree with you. That's why when I read that his dissatisfaction was so complete.
Like,
I
who
was-
is this guy? I disown Nightmare on Elm Street 5, but Lost in Space. Mwah.
Right. Yeah. Blown away. Fine.
Blown Away's all right.
Oh, come on.
It's got some bad accent work, doesn't it?
I don't know. Is Jeff Bridges trying a bad accent?
I
'Cause that would be
think
bad.
it was the first thing I ever saw Jeff Bridges in, and I thought he was like a bad actor for a while because I was like,
That was the first Jeff
I think
Bridges
so.
movie?
Yeah,
Wow.
Henry.
I like that I'm looking only right now at Donatello on Dan's T-shirt.
I'm wearing. Listen, I'm in PJs. It's
he's
a Ninja
adjusted his
Turtles
camera.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
I didn't adjust my camera. I just knocked into my laptop, so it moved.
I can't see him anymore, so I just see his
Leave me
shirt.
alone. All
There
right.
I tell you,
go.
I can't see either of you. I dragged the window to the side. It's too distracting.
It is distracting. I don't like it,
Right?
but so far
Yeah.
the connection's been good. So let's
Okay, good.
be thankful. Henry, this movie won a Golden Raspberry. I think we're gonna. We don't have a theme for Golden Raspberry yet.
I gotta confess something. I went to the movies last night, and I saw something we're gonna cover soon. But on the way home, because this is how my mind works. I literally had the thought as I was driving on the Parkway. I said, I have to come up with a Golden Raspberries theme, and I need to do.
And then you
that.
did.
And then I didn't do it. So, so for next week, there'll be an unveiling.
Yeah,
Wow.
if the movie's nominated for a Golden Raspberry, next week we're covering a couple classics.
Well, yeah. You know what? It'll be in the can, so it'll be there. So
All
that's
right.
That's the good news.
So this won a Razzie for the worst song of the year, Henry. And that was no, Kumo D was nominated. They got a double nom for worst song.
Cool Mo D, right? And,
Yeah.
And who else?
That's right. It's Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden solo
Wow.
project.
Good
And
move, Bruce.
he had a song in this movie called "Bring Your Daughter." ... to the slaughter. It plays during the closing credits. It's dynamite.
I heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought Megadeth had the market cornered on ellipses and metal songs.
Doesn't Metallica have a bunch of that shit too?
I think it's a Megadeth thing.
And Justice for All.
Oh, well, they do. That's true. There is an ellipsis in "And Justice for All."
They're so fucking deep.
But Megadeth likes to pop them right in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, so you got to take a long pause right in the middle of that title.
That's right, baby.
What would make this title better? I don't know. Throwing a long pause.
Nothing. So let's just say nothing. Yeah. Oh.
There's nothing better than just letting a title sit for a second halfway through.
Bring your daughter.
To the slaughter!
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Can we do our 1989 list?
I'm so excited.
I redid lists this week.
So did I.
I also have the final blockbuster list in this book, the 1989 list.
Oh.
Now, I'll say they have 16 movies on their list.
Jesus.
So I'll give you some honorables. When Harry Met Sally, it says here, can a man and a woman just be friends? All right? Ryan and Crystal are both extraordinary, and Meg Ryan has one of the funniest scenes in cinema history, simulating ecstasy in a deli. Director Rob Reiner delivers another heart-tugging gem. All right?
Ooh.
All right. Now, I'll mind you, this book came out in 1989, so these are fresh. These reviews are fresh.
I was just gonna say that they were very caught up in what's going on. Yeah.
In fact, our next movie, War of the Roses, under blockbuster category, it says not available on video yet.
Wow.
Okay.
Not available on video. I love
That's right. DeVito solidified his standing as an innovative director with this one. The ending is an unexpected stunner. All right, Sex, Lies, and Videotape here. It's apparently the closest in tone to an Ingmar Bergman film that an American movie has ever come. I don't know about that.
Wow. That's pretty bold.
Yeah.
I love the movie, but
The Little Thief. I don't really...
Don't know it.
Yeah, a
No
late
idea.
Truffaut thing, I guess. And then we got The Little Mermaid here. All right. And then Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Ooh.
Okay, a guaranteed thriller minute. And finally, we have Field of Dreams here.
Oh.
Okay.
God.
A Frank Capra-esque film for the 80s that proved audiences can enjoy an old-fashioned movie.
That movie sucks.
I'm amazed you don't like that movie.
Right, of course you are. I have never liked that movie.
Oh, wait, I
and
went too far. Now I only have 9 for the list. Whatever. Field of Dreams is Blockbuster's 10.
It's garbage.
All
It is garbage. All right. If you
All
build
right.
it, they will come. What are your honorable mentions, Jason?
All right, honorable mentions. I've got Tetsuo the Iron Man and Back to the Future 2.
Tetsuo the Iron Man, of course, remade as Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin. And Henry, what about you?
I've got a whole bunch of honorable mentions, of course, but for 91 I don't. So I'm gonna just rattle them off. All right. Couple got bumped from the top 10. Black Rain, honorable mention.
I can't believe
See,
that's not in your
Whoa.
top 10.
What?
I'm sorry. I had to redo it, and I wanted to put some new stuff on.
This
Johnny
is a Henry Papali list, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. I
That's
know.
a Henry Papali stunner.
I'm sorry. You're right. I just jarred everybody. Black Rain, Sea of Love,
What's happening?
War of the Roses, Johnny Handsome, License to Kill, Fabulous Baker Boys, Back to the Future 2, Drugstore Cowboy, Lethal Weapon 2, Roger and Me, Christmas Vacation.
Jeez, a lot of good
It's a good
movies there.
year.
Yeah,
A good year.
it's okay.
I found it much better year than 91.
They're about equal. My only honorable mention for 1989 is Weekend at Bernie's. All right, let's do this.
Jason, you're the guest of honor. You go with number 10.
All right, at number 10, I have The Cook, The Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover.
I have always wanted to see that Helen Mirren movie, and I've never seen it.
We'll see it, Henry. It's I believe it's a sequel to Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. That's right. I'm making a lot of title construction jokes today.
Loving it.
All right.
Ampersands, ellipses.
Sure.
Yeah.
Henry, what do you got?
Making its list debut.
Oh, God.
Batman.
Yeah, I can't believe that wasn't on your list already. You're obsessed with that movie.
No, I'm really not, though. I mean, I spent a long time just not giving a shit about it. And when I was really thinking hard about 89, this was a list I was trying to construct about movies I've sort of given the shaft to for many years. And the original Batman, despite its flaws, is, I think, great.
How did
An
that
important
not
movie.
win the Golden Raspberry for Worst Song?
That's a good question. That is one bad soundtrack. And then not Danny Elfman. Great music, but the Prince stuff, yeah.
You listen, not Prince's best work.
No.
I think that's safe to say. My number 10 is a movie I just, this might be recency bias. I just rewatched it last week, and it is Heathers.
Never been a huge fan of the movie, but I do like it.
All
I recently watched that for the first time. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh, first timer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's your number 9, Jason?
All right, number 9 is also The Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's a fun movie.
The Bat, the Cat, the Penguin, and his lover. No, that's the sequel. Henry, what is your number 9?
My number 9 is making its list debut as well, and I don't believe either of you have ever seen it. I've talked about this movie for years. I really want you two in particular to see it. It's my favorite Christopher Guest movie that he is not actually in. The Big Picture.
Why do you want you two in particular to see it? You think The Edge would be into it?
I think that The Edge and their bassist guy. I think
Adam
would really
Clayton?
like it. Yeah, Adam Clayton would
All
really
right.
dig it. Yeah. The Big Picture.
Sure. My number 9 is Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, that's the Nick Cage vehicle.
That's right. Watched the
Never saw
first 10 minutes of it recently, then fell asleep. All right.
Okay.
Great.
But that's not denigrating its greatness. I was just very tired. All right. What's number 8?
My number 8 is Mystery Train
A very fine Jim Jarmusch joint.
by Mr. Papali's favorite director.
That's right.
Never saw it. My number 8 is also, I think,
Henry's never seen any of his good movies. That's the thing. Like, every time I bring up a Jim Jarmusch movie on this podcast, Henry starts talking shit about Jim Jarmusch, and then you find out, like, he's only ever seen Broken Flowers and Coffee and Cigarettes or some shit.
Oh, Broken Flowers is fucking terrible, too.
Not his best work. All right, Henry, what's number 8?
I liked Ghost Dog.
Full title, please.
The Way of the Samurai.
Thank you.
The Way of the Samurai. Number 8 is a movie we've covered, Major League.
Yep. I'm going to go with a movie we covered, too, Henry. Back to the Future Part 2.
Fine choice.
Thank
Almost
you.
made it.
What's number 7?
All right. Concerning Back to the Future 2, I wanted to put that on my list, but it's been fucking ages since I've seen it. But your coverage of it made me really want to see it, but I still haven't got around to that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 7, I have Cinema Paradiso.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in about 20-some years. I didn't have much desire to revisit it, but
I saw it in a film class in college, so I got to see
Sounds
it on
right.
like the big screen, and
yeah.
made an impact.
Do you still like it, Jason? It's been something. It's not a nostalgia thing. Or?
No, this was a first watch for me.
Oh, all
in the
right.
past 2 years I saw it, and
Okay.
it should be too schlocky to work,
Right.
but
That's what I
but
thought.
it really fucking works, man.
I agree.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Number 7 for me is War of the Roses. I forgot to do the blockbuster list game. Their number 10, of course, was Field of Dreams. Number 9, Fabulous Baker Boys. Henry.
Great movie. One
Yeah.
of my favorites.
The Bridges are at their all-time best, both of them. All right, but hey, Pfeiffer steals the show.
No, but yeah, sure.
Number 8, they've got a Drugstore Cowboy over here.
Yep.
They say it's incredible that the characters are somewhat sympathetic in the age of Just Say No.
Oh.
Yeah, I love that movie very much.
And their number 7 over here is Driving Miss Daisy, of course. Yep.
Jesus.
A moving experience with dazzling work by the 2 leads and the director, all right? That's
Moving
not
experience.
Very moving. It's
Because
not
they're in a
available.
car?
They're in a fucking car.
Oh, very
That's the
good.
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
So Dan went ahead and read his number 7. I did not read mine.
Oh, really? Sorry.
That's okay. Also making its list debut, Brian De Palma's Casualties of War.
Oh, that's right. Sure. We talked a lot about that recently.
Yeah.
All right. What's number 6?
Number 6, My Left Foot.
A fine film. I almost made that an honorable mention, but it's not quite as good as Weekend at Bernie's.
Fucking Christ. Masterpiece.
Wait, what? Weekend at Bernie's?
Uh,
Go ahead. Number 6.
Number 6, Glory.
Glory?
It's a great movie and one of the best movies about the Civil War ever made. One of the only good ones, to be perfectly
I know.
honest.
When I'm
Is that
looking,
the one where the South wins? They do the
Yes, it's Ted Turner's
right. That's why you like it.
sequel to Gods and Generals. Yeah.
when I'm looking for a great Civil War movie about the only black squadron in the Civil War,
You want a white protagonist.
I want Matthew Broderick to be my protagonist, please.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
And pop a mustache on him.
It's a problem.
As if he could grow one.
That's very true. Very true. It's a problem, but it's still a great movie.
Denzel's great in it. All right.
Denzel is phenomenal.
What are we up to? 6 here?
Yep.
My number 6 is Roger and Me.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah. And number 6 here on Blockbuster's list is Do the Right Thing.
Too low for you, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I'm going in alphabetical order here. So, yeah.
So, are we up to 5 for
Yeah, we're up to something, Henry.
Heavy hitters.
Thank you.
These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
Okay, Jason.
All right. At number 5, we got Roger and Me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good.
I did a rewatch recently. It's excellent. It's probably his best film. It's really concise.
It's
I watched
my
his new
second
one.
fave.
Yeah, I watched his new one recently, and it's a goddamn mess, but I still enjoyed it because it's basically like propaganda for the left.
Sure.
But
That's exactly how I felt.
it's a goddamn mess. But Roger and Me, excellent.
Roger and Me is his best film. Like as a movie, if I'm being objective.
Right.
Yeah. I watched Canadian Bacon a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That movie's a goddamn mess.
Never saw it.
All right. 5, Henry.
Born on the 4th of July.
Ooh, look at you. You're really busting out the big boys.
I really am, man. I took this one. I took some time with this list. There are really some heavy movies here.
Yeah.
Like if just in content.
Henry's fighting back at your Jim Jarmusch pick with some Ed Zwick and Oliver Stone. My number 5 is Drugstore Cowboy. And Blockbuster's number 5 is Dead Poet Society.
Oh,
Captain,
Jesus.
my captain. All right.
God.
Yeah.
Just Blockbuster. I'm usually, how I've been very impressed with their.
But there's no hindsight. This came out like this is the year.
I gotta tell you, in 1989, I was 11 years old, and I fucking hated Dead Poet Society and Field of Dreams. All right, I was 11. Jesus Christ!
You didn't like Field of Dreams even at 11?
Nope. At 11 years old, my favorite baseball movies were Major League and The Natural, and they still are. So, forget it.
Right.
Hasn't changed since 11. All
Yeah,
right.
I think that's Henry in a nutshell. What's number 4?
All right. Number 4, mine is Drugstore Cowboy as well.
Great.
You guys are making me feel bad. I bumped it. Jesus.
Yeah,
All right. I don't know. I had number 4 for me. The order did change for these top 5. I'll tell you that. Number 4 is now Crimes and Misdemeanors.
A fine film. My number 4 is Mystery Train.
Okay.
And Blockbusters with you, Hank. They got Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Oh, all right. Look at that.
Yeah. It's writer-director Allen's best work in years. I mean, in 3 years, I guess.
Exactly.
Come on.
That is one of. I'm so glad you said that. That's one of my favorite critic tropes of anything.
What, every good Woody Allen movie is his best movie in years, no matter when it came out?
Yeah. Right. Not just Woody Allen, though. Like when they talk about like bands or whatever, like if like a band put out something like 2 years prior, it's like their best work in
I know.
years.
Kill
It's
Bill
like,
Volume 2 is Quentin Tarantino's best work since Kill Bill Volume 1.
Since Kill Bill Volume 1. Or there might be one movie in between it, and it's like it's the best work in years. It's like, okay, if you're making, come on.
There's a few directors, though, where I feel like a certain critic, every movie he makes is his best movie in years. I feel like the modern equivalent of this is Wes Anderson. He made like a couple stinkers there for a second, and now every time he comes out with a movie that people think is okay, they're like, it's his best work since the Tenenbaums.
Yeah, they get hysterical. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What are we up to here? Number three?
Number three. Number three is Ingmar Bergman's Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Very good.
That's right.
That's my number three.
Oh, listen to you two.
Wait, I gotta ask Steven Soderbergh for a minute. Has anyone seen this Kafka?
Yes.
No, I know that was that same.
It's terrible.
Oh, really? That was 91, huh?
Yeah, 91. I tried to watch it to bump something off my 91 list. It did not happen.
You did research on your list?
Oh, I'm always making lists over here.
All right. Yeah, I've never seen that one. I've only skipped like 3 Soderbergh movies, but that's one of them.
I saw Kafka in the theater when it came out.
Oh, look at you. When you were 11?
I was probably, 91 or 92 or something like that?
91.
Yeah. So I would have been like 13, and I loved it. And I've always maintained that it's great, but I don't know that I ever saw it again, and I really want to.
No, don't. Just enjoy your memory.
That should have been a scene in that movie 13. Those 2 girls just going to see Kafka in theaters.
Sounds right. It would have worked.
All right. Number 3, I have Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Okay.
Blockbuster says Casualties of War, Henry. All right. Michael Fox conveys an emotional depth new to his screen characterizations, and Sean Penn has Hateful down pat. He sure does, gang. Yeah.
Michael Fox. I like whenever is that like a thing in '89 where they're like, well, now he's being serious.
No,
So
they got Jay.
J out.
He's still Jay.
Took the J out.
No, he wanted to be Michael Fox. That was a Screen Actors Guild thing, Henry. There was like someone in the Screen Actors Guild no one ever heard of named Michael Fox.
That's like Michael Keaton wanted to just use his real name.
Is that not his real name?
Nope.
What's his real name?
Michael Douglas.
Bruce Wayne? Michael Douglas?
Yep.
Is that true?
That's absolutely true, 100%.
That's
and
so
for obvious
crazy.
reasons, he couldn't do it.
My God.
Yeah.
Hey, just since you brought up Michael Douglas, I guess I'm obligated to bring up the fact that he got cancer from going down on Catherine Zeta-Jones too much. Yeah. Henry, what are we up to here?
Number 2.
Number 2, I like this one better than Dan does, Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was great.
For me, number 2 is Do the Right Thing.
Number 2. All right. My number 2 is Sex, Lies, and Videotape. I like that one better than both of you. Their number 2 is Born on the 4th of July over here.
All right.
Yeah. Tom Cruise in his most powerful role to date. That might still be true.
Years.
Yeah. What do you got? What's number 1 for you guys?
Number 1 is, of course, Do the Right Thing.
That's right. Thank you.
I knew that was coming, and my number 1, and it might be the Irish in me, but I still love it very dearly, and it's a great movie, My Left Foot.
Yeah, better than Do the Right Thing, huh?
Well, I don't know that it's better. I just it's a very special movie to me. I have a place. Like Sally Field would say, it's got a place in my heart. And I love it. It happens to be a great movie that is also special to me. However, having said that, Do the Right Thing is yet another movie that I am really due for a rewatch. It's been a very long time. I've seen it a couple of times, but it's been a long time. So and even when I made that and I put My Left Foot at number 1, I was kind of rethinking of certain scenes and Do the Right Thing. And I was like, I don't know, am I doing the right thing?
Good one.
And thank you. And for now, it's My Left Foot. Okay. All right.
All right, my number 1 is, of course, Do the Right Thing, and Blockbuster says Batman. All right? Jack Nicholson as the Joker plays it to the hilt.
You got to play it to the hilt.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Kim Basinger as the sumptuous Vicky Vale also shines.
It's true.
Yeah. Henry, can we talk about this fucking movie?
Yes, we're covering Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
Okay, it starts with some sweet, sweet fucking. Let's get into it, baby. All right. Everything's shot in blue. Stephen Hopkins, again, just shooting everything too dark. Turn the fucking lights on, Hopkins.
I'm digging it.
All right, so two characters are fucking. We can't see who they are. That's the opening of this movie. But then they win me back because Alice, already taking a shower. That's right, credits shower. And, you know, into that. And then she has a dream about Freddy, and she dreams that she herself is Amanda Kruger, Freddy's mom.
Right. Very strange. What'd you think of that sequence there, Jay?
Are we? Is that the sequence that takes us to the 100 Maniacs?
It sure does.
That's right. I love that scene. I love that sequence. I actually really did enjoy the way they did that, but I laughed my ass off when the guy's counting the maniacs.
I know.
I get 71, 72, and the other guy goes, "Let's get out of here. Right? There's 100 of them, okay?"
Right.
Yeah. What the fuck? They're taking roll call of maniacs. And
they're not even doing a roll call. They're just counting them.
First of all, I did not need a flashback. We were already given the description of this poor woman getting gang raped by 100 maniacs.
Right.
Yeah, but weren't you thinking, like, what do those maniacs look like?
Did you notice one of the maniacs was Robert Englund without his makeup?
Of course I did.
Did you notice it because he stopped in front of the camera and looked at it for a minute?
And did a little wink.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like the two guys count thing. So wait, are we to believe there were exactly 100 maniacs, or are we in the story of the rape going with the estimate of these two guys?
That's a great point. Yeah, there might have been like 76, you know,
yeah, I'm gonna say it was in the 80s.
Yeah,
you're gonna say
just
the
like
80s.
This movie,
right?
And I think it's weird that there was one nurse in there, like taking care of the maniacs, all 100 of them.
That's a illegal ratio of patient to nurses.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
And so they didn't notice her hanging back, Amanda Kruger, and then they. I love that the second the door closes, though, the inmates like realize she's in there, and like without missing a beat, like we don't even have to think about this. We're all gonna fuck her, right?
Once those two orderlies are gone, it's like they wielded so much power.
Open season, baby.
Right.
But the way they visually do it in a way where it just looks like they're kind of like
they sort
pulling her down or something.
They envelop her.
Right. Yeah. No, look, I think that the whole reason that this movie for me was the best one so far is that it works visually. I think Hopkins. Yeah.
Well, there's a consistency to the visuals, I think.
Right. I mean, we look. The movies take place.
What about the part that they're in an Aha video for a few minutes?
Dynamite. Total dynamite. Look, if I were able to finish my prior thought, I'll try it again. We're in these movies, we're seeing dreams. Most of them suck, with notable exceptions that we've pointed out. But we get a lot of creativity going on here.
You got to give it creativity.
Fucking A, man. Whether it's, you get an MC Escher-like thing with the staircases halfway through. You get the comic book thing.
I felt like I was watching Labyrinth at one point.
Absolutely. And
the comic book thing, you're gonna talk about that sequence in a positive light.
I'm talking about it in a creative light.
Super Freddy!
I'm not
continuing my theory that you could give Robert Englund literally anything to do and he'll be signed.
Well, that's true. That's 100% true. But I just think that talk about it a little bit more in a little bit. But that I think it looks good. This movie. I think Stephen Hopkins makes some interesting choices. I mean, visually, and and it was kind of like you were saying, Dan, earlier, but just like, he's so disgusted and disgruntled with the end result, but it's like, I don't know what the fuck he really wanted. I mean, I would be curious as to know.
I think ideally he would have liked to have made a good movie and ended up with a bad movie.
Did he really?
Yes.
But even his quote even said, I remember this. He even said, "What I had was a movie that was okay with some good parts, and instead I ended up with just a very bad movie."
So what is
Is
he
that the
blaming
quote they
on?
put
The
at the
editing?
beginning there?
What's that?
There is no quote at the beginning of this one.
I'm saying they put his quote there at the beginning.
That would be
That would have
great.
been great.
Yeah, they should have put that on the poster.
Stephen Hopkins, I made an okay movie that has now not become okay.
I don't see him Alan Smithying this though,
No, you're right.
like the director of Hellraiser 4.
Oh, did he do? Oh, really?
That's right. It's an Alan Smithy joint. All right. So the next day, we're back at high school, so I'm happy. But they're graduating. It's graduation day. It's like a year after the previous movie. Alice seems to be like totally cool with the fact that all her friends were murdered. And
Right?
she's
She's
just
really
like,
well
she's got
adjusted.
new friends. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
she's fine.
I'm dating Dan now. I know my only black friend died, so I got one more. And who else? My only hot friend died, so I got one more of those.
True. It's very true.
Yeah.
I actually thought that hot friend, the model, I guess, or Erica, somebody.
Greta.
Right. No, but like her real name, I think was
I don't
Erica
care.
something. I don't know. Yeah. I thought she was actually kind of funny the way she delivered her lines, like when she was imitating her waspy mother. And
I
stuff.
did too. Yeah.
Right? I was like, oh my God, there's somebody
Surprised by
who
that.
actually knows how to deliver a line comedically. That's interesting.
What about Robert Englund? He's a comic genius.
I gotta ask you guys: is this the same Dan from the movie before? The same
Yes,
actor?
it is. It is the same.
He looks
actor.
like a young Brett Kavanaugh to me, which I found extremely uncomfortable.
Oh my god.
Interesting. He liked beer.
Yeah,
God.
like beer, okay?
Boy. I'll tell you what. That Amanda Kruger scene, the flashback, that was the biggest devil's triangle I've ever seen in my life.
That's fine. They'll all be on the Supreme Court soon.
Sure.
All right.
Hey, we got political there. Sorry,
about
you fucking
One listener.
iTunes commenters. All right. Hey, so they're graduating, and who's the other friend? There's a gay fella, but I don't think we were ever told he's gay. I just assumed that.
The comic book guy, right?
Yeah, he's into comic books.
But he says he's in love with the model.
I don't buy that.
He's
He draws comic books, but he also reads them. We later get a nice glimpse of some sweet 80s Marvel books.
I saw that. I was going to ask you about that in terms of what was the story with the rights to stuff like that? Could you just fucking show that shit back then? Nobody cared.
Marvel was a floundering company.
Yeah. Okay.
At this
Interesting.
point, Marvel was
Right.
6 years away from bankruptcy.
Is
I
that
think
right?
They were
Yeah.
psyched to have their fucking comics in a Freddy Krueger movie.
So, because this is the era. Sorry to nerd out for a second, Jason, on the comic thing, but that's the era pretty much of DC, right? I mean, they're doing pretty well in the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel had a big early 90s in terms of comics, but in the 80s, like, X-Men was still a hit, and there wasn't that much else going on, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think
All
Todd McFarlane was on Spider-Man. That was probably big at the time.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
You're
That was for me and Dan. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
literally
enjoyed it.
no one
That's
else. All right. So we get another dream sequence where Alice gets to see Freddy born.
Oh, baby Freddy.
Yeah, he's like a little goblin thing. Why is
he a
this
goblin?
happens all the time in movies when you get like a little creepy baby and the babies goes like, ah,
Yeah.
ah,
was a great visual I got to see from
Yeah.
Dan. That was good. Yeah.
And adult Freddy gets the comment on his own birth, which I enjoy. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
He
What's
goes,
his line?
"It's a boy!"
Oh Lord have mercy.
Which one of the writers that only has a story credit, I read, that was his only line that made it into the movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Wonder how much he got paid for that.
probably a lot.
I think that's one
More
of
than
Robert
Robert
Englund's. It's one of his joke writers, right? That he employs for all these movies.
Are you
He has his
kidding
little
me?
staff.
Englund writes his own material, man. He's no Jay Leno.
You got Bruce Valanche to write that. It's a
Just
boy.
goes on set and he goes on set and riffs, right?
I think so. You know, Robert Englund, you know, he's a real yes and bitch.
By the way, as promised, I did watch the Fat Boys video.
Oh, what'd
I
you think
didn't.
of
I told
it?
you I was going to, and I didn't. God damn it!
I thought it was incredible.
Thank you. 5 stars, right?
Oh, can we go higher, please? It's a
Yeah, I
music
know.
video.
It is glorious.
It's and so long.
Yeah, it's like 5
like-
minutes.
It's over 5 minutes. It's amazing. Yeah, really good stuff. Fat Boys in full Freddy sweater regalia.
And Robert Englund's all over that fucking video. And it's
He's
not
having a good
like
time.
footage from the movies. Like,
Nope.
he's there. He's filming new material.
And were we covering like any other type of franchise, I would have absolutely assumed, because you didn't tell me anything about it, I would have absolutely assumed it was going to be, grabbed footage, stock footage, but I was fully expecting Robert Englund to be a participant, and he was.
Yeah. I love grabbed footage videos, too. Like, every so often you'll see a video for, like, maybe a Trisha Yearwood song, and she's like very tenderly singing, and then in the background, like projected onto a wall, or like scenes from Con Air.
Right.
Kiss from a Rose.
No, that's How Do I Live, my friend.
That's the one
Oh,
right there. No,
Kiss
I'm
from-
saying
you're
that's
another
a prime
example.
example of
Sure,
that. Yeah.
sure. Seal
Right.
tenderly singing.
Love it.
I want to say on a wet pavement. He's standing.
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull another one that might rival my dad pull with Ted Danson and Jack Lemmon. 1989's video for Ghostbusters 2. Bobby Brown had a song in that, and that was also featuring participation.
How was
of
that not nominated for a Razzie?
Bill Murray and well, because it's not a terrible song. I believe it's called "All on Our Own," and it's real '80s, real Bobby Brown vintage stuff. There,
I have a job now where I answer a lot of phones, and
Right.
today I answered a phone call, and the dude on the other line said his name was like Bobby L. Brown. And I was like, I understand why you're including
Why you
that
threw
middle
that L in
initial,
there.
man. Yeah. So yeah, flashback to Freddy getting. So then the friends all start dying, right? They start dropping left and right. First we get Greta. She gets that. What is it? She's like at dinner with her parents and her friends.
right, and she snaps asleep for a second, and then she like what?
People are
eats
falling
herself to
asleep.
death?
People are falling asleep at the dinner table in these fucking movies.
Dude, I
This
told
is a
you, that's
town
one
of
of the things here.
narcoleptics.
I told you, man. It's just I've told you from the first show. This is one of those things that is sort of a blessing. If you really suffer from sleep apnea, you could just move to Springwood. And
Oh, that's
apparently it's
true.
in
We
the air.
learned that Elm Street is in
Yes.
Springwood. Now that's
Ohio.
interesting. I mean, it's sort of like The Simpsons, right? Springfield. We don't really know where that is.
Yeah, but we
Is
get
Springwood
this.
in Ohio? We're told
Yeah,
that.
when they show it on the yeah. Am I wrong? Or I think I'm
God,
right.
No wonder
Jason?
this is
No?
the third best of the franchises.
Swing state.
Is this a swing state, Ohio? Swing state situation? So half of Elm Street is red and half of Elm Street is blue?
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you think? All the parents who burned Freddy alive.
Geez, I don't know
death
what
penalty,
political party
baby.
would that be?
But does that make Freddy a fucking Democrat?
I think he's a libertarian.
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah.
He's
Freddie
a
voted
dissenting
for-
Republican, and the rest are just Trump. Right.
Freddie voted for Nader in 2000. All right. So they fill her up with food, right? Because she wants to be a model, so she's pretty. So they stuff her
Freddy feeds her
face.
to death.
Yeah, and then Freddy says, "Bon appetit, bitch."
Right, and she looks reminded me of the radiator dancer in Eraserhead.
Right.
Think about it.
What?
Remember in
Of
Eraserhead?
course, I
Swollen
remember.
cheeks.
No, I know, but you remember the girl who sings a creepy song on the radiator? She's like living in the radiator.
cheek thing. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I thought of.
All right, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, definitely making Eraserhead references.
Hey, Stephen Hopkins.
He's highfalutin.
Yeah.
Then, did you notice in that scene, Freddy tapes a message that he printed off of his computer to Greta's refrigerator? He happened to catch
Right,
that.
it's a little note.
Yeah.
He leaves her a little note. It says, "Die, bitch." Freddy's on rare game. The use of bitch in these movies.
I was
is-
just gonna say
We talked about this last week, right?
Right, a little bit, yeah, but he really
He's
likes
so
that word.
into it. He's so
Somebody's
into
going to
it.
count the bitches in this movie because it's every scene with them.
It's
ridiculous.
gotta be an IMDb trivia.
It has to be.
That's
I mean,
That's what IMDb trivia exists for.
exactly
To count the bitches in Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
That's right. All right.
Oh.
All right. Alice finds out she's pregnant. She
Right,
pops-
and
A
then
little
she-
pregnant. You're a little pregnant.
Yeah, that's
Little
right.
princess. Just a little pregnant.
You're a little pregnant.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that. Yeah, that was what the fuck.
Very bizarre. She goes in for an ultrasound, and we see inside of her womb where Freddy is feeding soul ghosts to her baby. How about that?
Good stuff. Good stuff. To that, and then she has that. Is this around the same time, right? That she has this, or if we skipped over it, I apologize. The kid, right, Jacob. She also has like a hallucination.
That's
of this
right.
Kid.
That I forgot. That's like an important
In the
part of this
hospital,
movie.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And who's this kid? I can't. I've seen this kid before, and
I think he's
couldn't
still
figure out what the
around,
hell-
like as an
He's a
adult
director.
actor.
But he has kind of a
Really?
baby head as an
Andrew
adult.
Garfield. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Andrew Garfield's baby head. This kid, let's find out. I'm gonna look him up. Is he a director today, Henry?
You'll see. It's pretty funny. Yeah, he's had quite a career actually. His name's Whit Herford.
It sure
What a
is.
name.
Whit Herford. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. He's also the kid. We've covered him before, Henry.
No way.
Yeah, he's the kid at the beginning of the first Jurassic Park where like Sam Neill's got that raptor nail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like holding it to a kid's chest, like this. He'd fucking rip you apart, you little
Oh
piece of
wow.
shit.
I don't.
Yeah,
remember
he's that little kid.
Okay. All
Putting
right.
it up to Freddy's son.
That's right.
That's right.
He's written some short films. I mean, come on. you set it up that he's a director.
Yeah. I wanted to build it up a little bit. So
He acts a lot. I mean, I've seen him in some shit.
Have you?
Sure, some TV, some guest spots, recurring roles. He's
Okay.
around.
Yeah, he's around. All right.
Yeah, he's in one episode of Glee. All right.
Sounds good.
Sure. Is he in your superhero count, Henry?
Yes, he is.
All right, good. Okay. All right, so yeah, Jacob, I don't know what's going on with that kid. That turns out to be Alice's kid, right?
I got to tell you, it's a little confusing.
Oh, it does. It's her kid. Yeah.
It's
It's not
right.
confusing, but it is her kid.
Right. I mean, at the end, it's very clear that it's her kid, but like throughout the movie, it's one of those things where Dan and I were trying to, it's almost like when we were trying to figure out the fucking years of the span over when these movies are taking place in their own universe.
At this
like,
point,
the kid is
it's
already
just
born
magic. Come on.
Right,
At this point in the franchise, we're talking about the Dream Child. Like, it's just bullshit. By the next movie, you're telling us that Freddy got his powers by 3 snake demons hovering in midair.
That's great. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
I saw them more as tadpoles to me.
I like it.
Demon tadpoles.
It did remind me a lot of Jason Goes to Hell. We'll get there, though. This was pre-Jason Goes to Hell, though. Yeah.
Right.
I think so. The superhero death happens. That kid, we get to see Freddy on a skateboard, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, and we got to see the superhero that this kid has toiled so hard.
Do you
to
remember his
draw
name?
And work on. Phantom Forcer.
Yes.
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace.
Yes, it's the Phantom Menace. No, it's the Midnight Prowler.
Oh god.
No. Phantom Prowler. Phantom Prowler.
I have it written down. It's the Midnight Prowler.
I don't think you're right.
Henry just shook his head at me like he's fucking disappointed in me.
It's so Phantom Prowler.
It's not. First of all, that's not super alliterative either. I understand the P thing. But
you guys want me to look it up or what? What's going
Henry's
on?
looking it up.
Are you looking it up?
No, you look it up, Jason.
So at the end of the movie, Freddy is trying, and Alice, they're fighting, of course, because she's the Dream Master. And there's one moment where Freddy flat out births himself from Alice's face.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, because after that point, right before that, right, we're given the sort of, as I mentioned before, the MC Escher-esque staircase thing going on there, and Jason called it the labyrinth callback, and that was all very cool. And then I gotta say, maybe for some fans, but not for me. But you're right, she's like bursting out of his head.
No, he's bursting out of her head.
Right. Like from every direction.
I love that every time he like emerges from somebody's body, or like he's always like got that sweater and hat combo.
It's his favorite sweater, man.
He's like fucking Bart Simpson. He just has like his outfit.
Yeah, he can't lose it no matter what. Yeah, it's true.
I'd love to see Freddy Krueger try something on for size, It's the 90s. I'd like to see him in like Hammer Pants or something.
I have expected him to see him in Hammer Pants.
Oh, in the Fat Boys video?
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be dynamite. Jason, have you ever seen Disorderlies?
I never have. No, I heard you mention it on the other
you're
episode.
missing out.
My big brother was really into the Fat Boys, so.
Big as in fat?
No. Actually not. No. Big as in asshole. Let's say that.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Okay.
Listen, family dynamics coming to light.
All right.
All right.
I have it right here, by the way. Phantom Prowler.
That's wrong. Then why would I have written the Midnight Prowler?
That's the graphic the kid drew right there, Dan. Phantom Prowler.
he is showing it to me. I gotta be honest. Yeah. All right. And Freddy, even in that comic book cover, has got his sweater on.
Of course, obviously, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what. Yeah.
All right. So Alice beats him. School's out, Krueger. And they live happily ever after. They go to have a picnic. The black girl survives, and amazingly, by the way.
Yeah, more people survive. I mean, right.
She's pretty good, by the way. I'm like denigrating her because she's so obviously the token, but she is much better than the black character in the fifth one. In the fourth one, she actually matters to the story.
Right, yeah, and she's good. I liked her.
I thought so too.
The dad is back, right? The dad is he's now grandpa.
What?
Because they want to take her kid away. Right. Remember?
Who's dad?
When Alice's dad, because remember, Dan does die and then he's brought
Thank
back
God.
to life.
Mercifully, Dan dies.
He is
Oh,
not-
that's
he-
a crazy sequence, though.
Yes,
That's
it
the-
is.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, he's like in that truck, and Freddy. Remember, Freddy like becomes like a computer wire setup.
Right,
That's
right.
pretty
and
baller.
Then, and then he throws him on, like, because he gets on a motorcycle,
Yeah.
and like the motorcycle starts to like take him over, like almost like Liquid Terminator style, and then he's ultimately killed, and so Alice is going to keep the baby, and Dan's parents come over and say, "You're not a fit mother. You're crazy. We're going to adopt him," and she says, "You are not taking my baby," and
And
I
she hangs
personally
on
was-
to it.
personally, I was moved by that family dynamic.
Okay. So the picnic at the end. It's Alice, the black friend.
The Mad Hatter,
Who's that?
Alice in Wonderland reference.
Oh God!
Oh.
And then fucking the kid, right? It's a baby, and they're in a playground, and then you see the little girls dance, and they're doing the.
Yeah.
Buckle my shoe.
They also zoom out and they show that the kid has a creepy stroller.
Really?
Yeah, they show
I
the
didn't
creepy
catch that.
stroller.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! What, like the fucking penguin stroller at the beginning of Batman
Yeah,
Returns?
basically.
Yeah.
So, they got the creepy stroller, so there must be something wrong with
That
this
was
kid.
like a trope for a while there. Creepy strollers.
Yeah.
I think it maybe started in Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Oh.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a creepy
And then
stroller.
and of course in Speed we got the stroller full of cans.
Cans.
Right.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks. All right. What do you give this movie?
Jason.
Oh, let's see. I think I'm going 3.
Henry.
Look, man.
Hey.
In the real world, I would be giving this movie a 1 or a 2, but in the franchise, our show, this is the best one so far. I am going to go for me with a 3.
All right. Listen.
Well, that's what I try to do is go, I try to judge it within the films that I have seen in the franchise.
Right,
So,
within the
within
context of the
franchises.
franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So
do
it's
that
three
too.
for me.
Dream Child, I went into this rewatch of Nightmare on Elm Street remembering this as my least favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And it's, I don't think that's where it's going to end up. I am giving it a 2, but it was definitely more enjoyable to watch and kept my attention, and a solid 89 minutes.
Yeah,
I do appreciate
it. Went
it.
by real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. MVP, LVP, Jason?
What do we do? MVP first? LVP
Sure.
first?
Sure, whatever you want to do.
All right, MVP. I was gonna go with Yvonne. That is the friend who survives, the black friend.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna go with the kid. I like that creepy
The kid?
Really?
I like
All
the
right.
creepy kid. I thought he did a good job.
Okay.
All right. All
Maybe
right.
maybe they just did good makeup on him. I'm not sure.
It's possible.
That's MVP.
Henry?
I have to go undeniably with my friend Stephen Hopkins. I really liked his direction.
Hopkins. All right.
I really liked his direction in this movie. I think that's the only reason, really pretty much the only reason this movie works for me on any level.
I'm gonna,
That's the Jamaican, right?
yeah, Jamaican.
That's correct.
fella. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with those orderlies.
They were pretty good.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
say.
They allowed
God,
my
that's a
favorite
good
moment
pull.
in the movie to happen.
Made a big impression on you, huh?
It's 100. Let's go.
Not as big as the impression that was made on Amanda Kruger a few minutes later. All right, what LVP?
All right. LVP. What do I have here? Oh, I have Joe Seeley, who is the character of Mark. That's the comic book
That's
guy.
my LVP.
Couldn't stand him.
Me neither.
He was frustrating. He was very frustrating.
He was
He's a bad
really
actor.
irritating.
He's annoying.
He was really irritating, and he goes along with going back, 2 years now with us doing these Halloween franchises, where Friday the 13th, right, Dan would go from like one movie would have like a really great nerd, and then another one would have.
That's
somebody
right.
who
Yeah, it was
really
almost
below
like every
par.
other one.
Yeah, and this guy was just. I liked the comic book element in the movie, but he was abysmal.
I bet
So.
this guy was a dead fuck. Right?
Hey, he's no Crispin Glover.
No, thank you for getting that. All right.
No, it's good.
Listen,
point.
I'm
Did
gonna
he,
go with
who's your
him too.
LP?
Fuck that guy. I hated
Alright,
his
look at
whole
that.
thing, his whole vibe, his comic books, his skateboard, his midnight prowler. His,
Like somebody wrote about a nerd without ever having met a nerd.
That's really true. That could
No?
be.
It's one of those old school nerds. Like now, because nerd is like the
Cool.
default personality for human beings.
Right.
Like people are like better at portraying it and stuff, but I think back then, like you'd call a character a nerd and say they're into comic books, and then they'd go an entire movie without ever once making a comic book reference.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I think
Freddy's
it's time
dead.
for-
Oh, right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Did you guys stick around for the cool Modi?
Yeah, of course I did. I loved it actually.
Whit Hereford.
Yeah, the kid.
Whit Hereford.
Yeah, you really got to lick those lips for
Quit.
that name.
Whit
Hmm.
Hereford played Jacob. He's the only superhero account I have. Just one.
That's amazing.
I know. And he was in Batman the Animated Series. And I'm very happy with the character that he played in that.
What's his name?
That was a character called Billy the Seal Boy.
Okay, now Billy the Seal Boy, is he a Navy SEAL? Is he a mutant seal?
Is he a seal impersonator?
I'd love to know.
Seal.
Listen, Batman does have a history with
Kiss
seal.
from a rose.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He
Yeah.
does have a history with Seal.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is that Batman and Robin or Batman Forever?
That's forever.
All right.
I want to say, am I wrong?
I think you're
I
right.
think you're right.
Because I think they tried to recapture that magic in Batman and Robin with that R. Kelly song, Gotham City. Remember that one?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was like City of Magic, City of Dreams. Yeah. But he's singing about fucking Gotham City. It made no
Please
sense.
don't stop.
Well, I don't actually know it. But I definitely used to put it on mix CDs sometimes to fuck with people.
It's pretty good.
Thanks, bro. Freddy's dead. The final nightmare. Let's talk about it.
Let's take a break.
Okay, fine.
I have
Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare by over there, Rachel Talalay. How about that? A female director for once.
Yeah, which I was excited about at first.
I'm a fan of Rachel Talalay. Now, I've seen everything she's ever done because for a while there in the late 90s, she was attached to direct the movie version of the comic book Preacher, which is my favorite comic book of all time. And so in doing research, because in my mind, this movie was definitely getting made. I had to see everything she ever did. So she worked on these nightmare movies as like in production, and they gave her a shot to direct this one. She followed it up with Ghost in the Machine. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
I did see that movie.
Sure, it's a little horror, techno horror movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did see that movie. Yeah.
And then she, of course, directed Tank Girl,
Right, I see that. Right,
which
right,
is a
right.
masterpiece.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it for years. Need a rewatch, but I
It's
remember
great.
liking
Yeah,
it
it's
in the
been
90s.
forever. Yeah.
Ice, probably
Yeah.
my favorite Ice-T performance.
Oh yeah, Ice-T.
Yeah.
Right. He
Yeah.
plays a special victims investigator, right?
I believe he plays like a dog or something, like a
Oh,
mutant
that's-
dog.
You are right. Yeah, that's right.
These days she directs TV. A
Lot of TV.
lot
Yeah.
of DC, a
Wow.
lot of Flash, Supergirl, that sort of thing.
And Iron Fist.
Oh, there you go. And Riverdale, the Archie show,
There you go.
which I've watched every episode of.
These days, she's been working a lot, and she majored in mathematics at Yale.
Did you find that on her Wikipedia page just now?
Yeah.
All right. This movie was weirdly written by Michael DeLuca, who's like a studio guy, like a studio head kind of a dude.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now.
He's a producer. He's like a very famous, like prolific producer. We covered him. He produced the 50 Shades movies. He also produced The Social Network and lots of
Rush Hour, Austin Powers,
Blade, big
Magnolia,
movies. Yeah.
Seven. Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
So this was a little passion project for him. He wrote the script.
He wrote Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this was before he became like a big producer, I guess. But still, it's odd to see his name in these credits.
Yeah.
Because not 3 years later, he's fucking executive producer on The Mask.
Wow.
Yeah. How about that?
Wow.
Does he have any other writing credits? Let me see. Oh, he wrote for the fucking Freddy's Nightmares series. I guess that's how he got this job.
Oh.
And he wrote In the Mouth of Madness, a very fine John Carpenter movie.
Hmm.
Hey, this guy's not a bad writer.
All right.
He also has a writing credit on Judge Dredd.
I saw that. Yeah. The Stallone Dread, obviously. Yeah.
That's correct. Okay, so this baby came out September 13th, 1991. Almost an exact decade before 9/11. That's right. A budget of $11 million.
This movie was the 9/11 of its day.
A little bit.
It was a 4-alarm fire.
Budget of $11 million. Box office of $34.9 million. And it was in development for quite some time. At first, they were going to make Alice's kid the main character.
Right.
And
Which would make
he
kind of sense.
Well, we were just going to continue on from 3, 4, 5, and it was going to feature new Dream Warriors. I think it was kind of meant to be like a reboot of the third one.
Mm.
Yeah, it seemed like that from what I read. Yes, right.
Yeah. And at one point, Peter Jackson even wrote a draft of this movie.
Right. Yeah.
And his draft was going to be like, Freddy is like a joke now to the kids of Elm Street, and they're like going to sleep on purpose to fuck with him.
Right, and they wanted to make Peter Jackson's film, but his projected budget was $455 million, and it was going to be a 22-hour movie, and they just said, well, it's not really what we had in mind.
Henry, this is 1991 Peter Jackson.
Right,
Peter Jackson was making a movie for fucking Lint.
Yeah. But
That was
really
almost a
wanted
sentence. Hey, it was nominated for Worst Song at the Razzies again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Who was it this time? Rat?
I didn't even take note. Oh, no, here it is. No, remember in the closing credits, did you catch this? Iggy Pop has a song about Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Singing about Freddy.
Yeah.
Freddy's dead. I was like, what the heck?
He is a passenger in a dream.
I know. I thought it was going to sample that fucking Curtis Mayfield song, but it didn't. Isn't there a Curtis Mayfield song called Freddy's Dead?
Is there?
Am I wrong?
You
No.
could be right. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Iggy Pop wrote a song for this movie. Also nominated that year, Cool as Ice by Vanilla Ice from the movie Cool as Ice, which is a great movie that I've watched more than once in my life. And
The biopic, right?
Well, I like to think so.
The 8 Mile of its time.
Sure. But the winner that year, of course, was Adam's Groove, which MC Hammer wrote for the Addams Family movie.
Yes, I do remember that.
Right.
This movie came in at number 37 at the box office that year, right smack dab in the middle of Soap Dish and White Fang.
I've seen Soap Dish.
I've seen White Fang.
That's the Ethan Hawke vehicle.
That's right. It's Ethan Hawke with a husky. Sure. Shall we talk about the top 10 movies of 1991?
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you have any honorables?
I got no honorables over here.
No. Okay.
I have a short list of honorables.
Hurry your ass, bitch.
Woody Allen's Shadows and Fog.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Steven Soderbergh's aforementioned Kafka.
I thought you haven't
Maybe
seen
not.
that.
No, I saw it in theaters. It's
Oh,
just-
that's right. I forgot. At 13. Go ahead.
right. Exactly. Good memory though. Bugsy, Warren Beatty. The Last Boy Scout,
Yeah, that's good.
and continuing my John Candy
Obsession.
fandom. Right. Only the Lonely.
How have you not
Very-
seen Canadian Bacon?
I don't know. I don't know.
Have
I
you
don't know.
seen Wagons East?
No, that's the one he died on, right?
Well, Canadian Bacon was actually the last movie he made, but Wagons East was released later.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
that's
died on the wagon?
it.
Or is it off
Definitely
the wagon?
not.
I think he was
On the
he
wagon, off
must
the
have been
wagon.
off the wagon.
Wheels were off that one. Yeah.
My honorable mentions are Dogfight and The Dark Backward.
I've never heard of The Dark Backward.
No,
Never heard
you
of
have.
it.
I talked about it a couple weeks ago on the podcast where Judd Nelson grows a third arm out of his chest.
That's right. I wasn't listening. Yeah. Dogfight's a good movie. That's with Lily Taylor, right?
That's right. A fine Lily Taylor movie. What's your number 10?
I haven't seen this in ages, but I didn't have that much to choose from on this. But
I
I have
agree.
really fond memories of it, which was Thelma and Louise.
Wow.
Sure. Thelma and Louise. It's a good movie, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is.
like you didn't have
A
to
sexy
qualify
Brad
that
Pitt.
so much.
Well, I just can't. It's been fucking ages since I've seen it, and I was probably too young to see it when I did see it.
Right.
I kind of,
You'd
have
probably
some
like it
trepidation.
even more now.
I probably would.
Yeah.
The
Henry?
great Ridley Scott.
I know. What's number 10?
Catherine Bigelow's Point Break.
Yeah, a fine film. My number 10 is Todd Haynes' debut, Poison.
Oh, I never seen that.
Never heard of it.
Very
Wow.
fine film.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Sort of a triptych.
Wow.
Yeah. Getting up
Look
my
at
own
this
ass
guy
today.
with the art history
right.
words going on.
Didn't he-
All right.
Did you safe or no? Am I remembering?
Yep. That's
yeah.
Haynes.
Great.
Recently for the first time. Excellent.
Great.
Oh, really? That's a great movie. I saw it in theaters. Excellent film.
I once saw Todd Haynes interviewed by Brian Eno. It was
Holy shit.
Wow.
I'd be into that.
amazing.
You could smell the pretentiousness
Hey!
falling off the screen.
Smell
It
the
was-
genius.
I agree. I love both of those guys. Well, Brian Eno more so, but yeah, that's got to be a loaded interview right there. Ooh.
It was
All right.
fun.
Yeah. Really?
It actually was. yeah.
Todd Haynes and Brian Eno. I wouldn't think. fun
Todd
would be
Haynes is a
that.
funny guy in real life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
What's
we at number 9?
Number 9, yeah.
I am.
Uh,
You're up. Sorry.
I
Sorry,
am
Jason.
Terminator 2,
Love
Judgment Day.
Yes, yeah.
Number 9.
Now, that's not Judgment Night. The sequel to that movie was the Stephen Hopkins movie.
That's right. Midnight
Sorry.
Prowler. I am very proud for my new addition to number 9 on 1991. For all intents and purposes, this is a garbage movie, but goddamn, is it entertaining! It is Backdraft.
That movie's totally fine. You guys are both adding like unnecessary qualifiers to good movies.
Because we're scared of you, Dan.
No, whatever. My number 9 is The Man in the Moon, not the Jim Carrey movie.
I've never seen it.
Really
It's a
hard.
very fine, 12-year-old Reese Witherspoon performance. Good coming of age movie.
Oh yes. Okay. All right. Yep.
Mhm.
Number 8, Jason.
Number 8, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Silence.
No, it's a great movie.
I never saw it.
Stay
That's
tuned on my
awesome,
list. What's yours, Henry?
The Albert Brooks comedy Defending Your Life, which I found funny when I first saw it in theaters at a very young age and still think it's fucking hilarious. I saw it recently and it holds up 100%.
Does it? Because I recently saw the America one. What is that?
Lost in
I did.
America?
I
I love
did
that
America.
movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it kind of
couldn't- I
peters
didn't
out
laugh-
in the third act there, but
I didn't laugh once.
oh
Yeah.
man.
My
No,
Lost
and I wanted to. I was ready.
I had never seen Lost in America until about a year ago, and I was solely living off, first of all, my love of Albert Brooks, but also the hype that so many people I know love that movie, and I kind of had a similar reaction. I mean, I liked it, but I thought it was supposed to be this masterpiece of comedy, and I just didn't get it. But I don't know.
All right. Fine. My number 8 is Point Break.
Oh, higher than me. All right.
That's right. Because I watched it recently. It's again recency bias. I was super
I
into
wanna
it.
see I want to see it again. Yeah.
All right. Number 7.
Number 7, I've got The Double Life of Veronique, the Kieslowski film.
Yeah. All right.
Love it.
Own it on VHS. Never saw it.
That
I think that was in
I
your
could have
box of videos.
predicted that. I could have predicted that. Henry.
I think you gave it to me in your box of videos.
Oh.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever owned it, but maybe I did. What's number 7?
Number 7 is David Mamet's Homicide.
Yeah. Is that 91? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay.
Yeah, I had to look it up because when I looked at 1991, it never came up under
Ooh,
2
boy.
lists I found. And then I had to Google the movie itself, and it absolutely was released in the United States in 1991. So yes.
Fine. My number 7 is
Fine.
Richard Linklater's Slacker.
Yes, that was in your box of videos too.
Yeah, that definitely
Did you
was.
watch it?
I watched about half an hour of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I've wanted
I'm
to see
hit
it
or
for a
miss.
while.
Dan knows I'm hit or miss with Linklater. I'm a huge fan of the Before trilogy, but other than that, I'm off and on with him.
He's all killer, no filler. What,
I know.
What's number 6?
Number 6 is Europa, Lars von Trier.
I've never seen that.
Me neither.
It's good. I highly recommend it.
I love Lars von Trier.
Check it out.
My number 6 is... Oh, no, Henry, what's yours number? He looked
My
at me
number-
so fucking angry, like he was going to pounce through the screen and choke me.
I did not.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I'm glad I've got no visuals.
By the auteur who only ever tells the full truth, Oliver Stone's The Doors.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that elevator blowjob scene a lot.
Well, you hate The Doors in general.
I like the
Dan, so-
movie more than I like the band, frankly.
Right. Yeah.
My number 6 is Trust by Hal Hartley, his second film.
Wow, you are auteuring the shit out of this year.
That's
I'm
right,
impressed.
man.
I'm
I'm
impressed,
Indieing the shit out of this. All right.
All right, number 5. I think we're running long, so I'll do a short.
Yeah, we sure are.
Heavy hitters. These are the
These are the what?
My finger slipped
What
on
are
the
these?
pause button.
These
All
are the
right.
heavy hitters.
That is really perfect, actually, because my number 5 is The Silence of the Lambs.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Sounds of the
A
theme.
little low. I'm a
That
little
is
surprised.
very low.
Now I'm very curious as to the rest of Jason's list. Okay.
Sorry, folks.
That's
No,
okay.
it's all right. My number 5 jumped up. Actually, I think it might even be making list debut, but maybe not. Cape Fear.
Yeah, it's good. My number 5 is Jungle Fever.
That's an interesting choice. That's a good movie. Yeah.
I want to see that. His movies are hard to find
Are they?
streaming.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
It is
I
a
feel like Netflix should have them because they've got that She's Gotta Have It TV show.
Yeah, it's annoying. I still got to find that. Let's see. So number 4
Yeah.
is My Own Private Idaho.
Yeah, great movie.
Ugh.
Henry loves it. No.
Man, 2 great Gus Van Sant years we're covering today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
One great year for him. Yeah. Number 4, the great Coen Brothers masterpiece, Barton Fink.
That's my number 4.
Oh. All right.
We match. Twinsies.
All right.
What's 3?
Number 3, Naked Lunch, Cronenberg.
Yeah, That I considered that. Didn't quite make my list, but I do like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
Might be the only Cronenberg movie, along with Cosmopolis, that I just don't like.
Oh, don't put those two in the same league.
I wouldn't, because
no,
they're not. Naked Lunches doesn't do it for me. But okay, boy, I got two. Oh, I wouldn't have done this on purpose, but it just happened to be the way it is. Number 3 for me is JFK.
Oh yeah, man, double Oliver Stone, huh?
Yeah, I think I had it higher, but I bumped it down to 3.
3 Oliver Stones in 2 lists.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
My number 3 is Boys in the Hood.
Nice.
Right.
Number 2, Shadows and Fog.
Look at you with Shadows and Fog at number 2.
I love Shadows and Fog. I'm like the person who absolutely loves it.
Hey, it was on my HMs. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I think it's totally good. To be honest, I didn't notice it when I was going through the year. I might have it on my list. I really like that movie a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
Number 2 there.
Number 2, Henry.
Sorry. Thought we were dead. Making its list debut, should have been on here ages ago. I love this movie with all my heart, The Fisher King.
All right. My number 2 is my own.
Wow, that
I like
no
it.
comment from any.
Who gives a shit? Number 2.
You don't like it?
It's not number 2.
I think it's one of Terry Gilliam's best.
All right.
Oh, I think that.
I think Terry Gilliam's kind of overrated, to be honest, as a director. Brazil's great. My number 2
I
is
deserve that. I deserve that. I shit on enough of your guys' stuff. Go ahead.
My Own Private Idaho. All right, so Hank and I are both going to have Silence of the Lambs. What's Jason got?
Right. That's true. Yeah.
I got Barton Fink.
Barton Fink, number 1. I like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. That's a good one. I had to see that a couple times. Some Coen brothers didn't connect with me when I was like a teen. I sort of didn't get their sensibility until I was a little older. Yeah. And so like I was able to get into like the serious ones like Miller's Crossing or Fargo or something, but some of the more sort of left of center shit took me a while. But Barton Fink is one of their best now, I would say. If we ever did a Coen rankings, can we? Are they involved in a franchise?
I don't know, but I would love to do that anyway.
Isn't fucking John Turturro making a weird movie based on his character from Big Lebowski?
Is he?
I think he is.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That sounds like a terrible movie.
Oh, it'll be a nightmare, but it'll give us an excuse to rank the Coen brothers
got a
movies.
Netflix.
I have no fucking idea.
Oh.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare, gang. We're back to Quote Town.
We got a Nietzsche quote.
We sure do.
I am loving it. Yeah.
But then, just when you think the movie's going to start... Yeah, I did too. I laughed at the Nietzsche quote, and then I laughed even fucking harder when the next quote that popped up on screen was, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," credited to Freddy Krueger.
That's pretty good.
I loved everything about it. And then we get a straight up 10 years from now. It looks like the fucking beginning of Escape from New York. Like they're going to explain to us this crazy fucking, dystopian future.
Right.
I was expecting a much different film.
Yeah, it's got a weird robotic map, and then it's like 10 years from now, Springwood, Ohio. Freddy Krueger has killed every kid in town. And now, like, Springwood is just this, like, weird town with only adults.
Very strange, very strange. I agree with you guys on the on that intro with the whole. It was like a Blade Runner setup. With, we need a deep explanation, so we're set in the right mindset. And then, of course, what was I thinking? I'm thinking, all right, we started in 1984, but then we were actually in 1980, and then we went to 89, 91, so we're in 2001, but not really. It's more like 2010 or 11. It was confusing.
Henry, did you study mathematics at Yale?
I was a student of Rachel Talalay.
Oh. I'll say I understand the impulse to reset the franchise after Dream Child failed at the box office, but anytime you're starting a horror movie with this much exposition,
Right.
you're overthinking it. And it's not what anyone is there for.
Right.
True.
Exactly. And kicking it off with a song that I thought was by Soul Asylum, but turned out to be the Goo Goo Dolls.
How about that? The Goo Goo
of which
Dolls.
we get 3
Yeah.
Goo Goo Dolls songs.
Well, as it turns out, the Goo Goo Dolls were like a grunge band in the early 90s before they went a little poppier. So, like, you remember them as being sort of this non-threatening adult contemporary group. I'm gonna let it slide, but they have some fucking grunge songs in this. I really did think it was like a Soul Asylum.
Right.
Yeah, but no, it's fucking Johnny Riznik.
Ugh.
Yeah, first concert I ever saw, gang.
Whoa.
Really?
It was I talked about this on the show before. It was a music festival, and the lineup was as follows. Band number 1, The Flies. Okay, great band. Band number 2, Dishwalla.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Band number 3, Joan Osborne. Okay.
Oh boy.
Band number 4, Marcy Playground. All right. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, band number 5. There they are, the Goos. I wonder if they played this fucking song. And then headliners. That's right, Third Eye Blind.
Whoa. This is a real buzzworthy I know you got there.
What, like the Buzz Bin? You talking about the
Yeah,
Buzz
remember
Bin?
the Buzz Bin?
Yeah.
Buzzworthy
Yeah,
band?
of
Yeah.
course I do. All right.
Throwback Thursday.
Oh, this episode is gonna be longer than 120 minutes. God
damn it!
I gotta tell you. So we're opening with a Goo Goo Dolls song, followed by a fucking Wizard of Oz pastiche.
Very strange. Yeah.
So bizarre.
Yeah. So there's this kid named that we're just gonna call John Doe. I don't think we ever do find out his name.
No, he's credited as John Doe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's spinning around in a tornado in a little house, and then Freddy comes out there. He's on a broom. He's the Wicked Witch, and he says, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too."
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Really, really brilliant. Oh Lord! And also, we got a great airplane sequence, which was beginning to remind me of the great sequence in the 1983 Twilight Zone, the movie segment with John Lithgow, until I realized that I would rather have been watching that instead, and that's what I was projecting.
I'd rather have been watching that. I wouldn't necessarily have rather been on the set of that. A little safer over here in Freddy's Deadland.
Vic Morrow.
All right. There's an airplane sequence. I do like that we're back at like a troubled kids' home. I like this trope in horror movies. There's a Friday the 13th doing this, and this is now the second nightmare we've had. So we get to meet our kids. There's a girl who was raped by her dad, who I actually thought was really good. She's my MVP in this movie. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
She's going all out. I'll give her that. I mean, yeah. In this movie, I had an extremely clear MVP and an extremely clear LVP.
Yeah,
it's
you, so you're going to say Yaphet Kotto.
I fucking hate you so much.
Yeah.
Why would you come to that conclusion?
Because you have a fucking heart-on for that guy. You love Yaphet Kotto the way I love...
one movie.
What? Well, yes, but that's enough for you sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. That's
So,
true. I hope we all are on the same page with the LVP. I mean, I don't know how we're...
if you fucking say Breckenmeyer, I'm going to sock you.
No.
I was so excited to see Breckenmeyer in this movie, man.
Talk about that for a minute. I know this guy.
You don't know Brecken?
I mean, I think I've seen him. I looked him up. He looked very familiar.
He's probably
but,
best remembered for Clueless, but he's half of the old Robot Chicken team over there with Seth Green, and he's been in a lot of stuff. I've watched him in some sitcoms here and there.
So who did he play in this?
He's the stoner kid, bro.
Oh, the stoner bro.
Yeah.
Sweet ponytail.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I was super into his presence in this movie. But I'll be honest with you right off the bat about something, and I'll be honest about something else. My laptop's gonna die. I gotta go get the charger.
Jesus.
I'll let you talk amongst yourselves for a minute. But I will say, the last time I watched this movie, as a drunk fella, I fucking loved this movie.
Oh.
And I was going into this franchise rewatch. I was ready to say this is like maybe the third best Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Okay? And this was, I haven't used this term in a while, a nostalgia buster.
Oh.
This movie's terrible.
It's very bad.
Yeah. I
Yep.
don't know what the fuck I was thinking, man.
I
Like,
want
I
to blame it on
remembered-
so many things. Like the editing is really bad, but it's just the script and the direction
There's
and the
that
everything.
fucking scene where Freddy kills Breckenmeyer in a video game, and
Yeah.
I remembered
yeah.
that scene being awesome. And it is not.
It is not.
There are
yeah.
things I liked about it. I liked the fact that Freddy has a Nintendo Power Glove version
That was
of
cool.
his own glove. That was
Right.
great. But I mean, it's super fucking weird. And he's just what's that thing? He's like, is he supposed to be like Mario, where he's like bouncing around the house?
That's what it reminded me of.
Oh,
yeah,
that part
right.
was terrible.
It was
It's
so
real,
badly
real
done.
bad.
It looked like
And-
garbage.
and-
You know what it fucking looked like? This is going to be a reference neither of you get because I'm younger than both. Jason, are you my age?
I don't know.
How old are you? Are we allowed to say that?
I could say it. It's all right. I'm 37.
All right, you are a little older. So, Nick Arcade, is that a thing that means anything to you?
Wait, what was it? Arcade?
Nick Arcade.
Nope, not to me.
I
That
don't
was a
think so.
Nickelodeon show in the 90s
Oh,
where
I didn't have
kids
All right.
would compete in video games against each other, and then at the end of the game, they'd be put into a video game and compete at that.
Really?
And it looked like this.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And it looked like garbage, but that's okay on a Nickelodeon game show.
right. Yeah, no. I mean, and then I got to ask you, both really. I mean, but Dan too, mainly because you didn't care for Stephen Hopkins' lighting and all that. But I mean, you look at this and you think, you must be thinking 5 looks a hell of a lot, like a decently shot.
I actually think this movie is nicely candy colored, and Rachel Talalay has a style, but
Does she?
sure. And I kind of liked the look of the kind of frankly disgusting flashback sequences with Freddy and his daughter.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like to think about that too much.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
No.
Because the rest of the movie is trying to be fun, really. It's really taking the goofy
It's a
factor to
totally-
the extreme.
it's a
But then we
comedy.
get those scenes which bring it way down.
It's a super silly fucking movie with just those scenes, plus one of our main characters' backstory is that she was raped by her dad. And we are not just told that, we get a weird flashback to that too, where she's like washing dishes and her dad sidles up behind her.
Yeah.
No, it was
It's
awful.
gross.
Yeah, it was awful. I remember I recognized the dad from Miller's Crossing. Did
I
you?
recognized him from something. That's what I
As soon as I saw, he's the guy who's like screaming relentlessly in that crazy scene at the end of Miller's Crossing. Do you remember what I'm talking about, both of you?
Only vaguely.
Yeah. Okay.
Gang,
forget
talk. You have a guest here. I vowed never to give Henry Corner ever again, and I've stuck to that. But we've got
didn't
a
know
guest.
you had vowed that.
Yeah, we've got a guest
Boy,
here.
it was that bad. Huh?
I'm gonna go get my fucking laptop charger, and you guys keep talking about Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare.
All right.
we will
What we're
do
going to
that.
talk about here is Yaphet Kotto's Cosby sweater. What did you think about it?
I thought that the Cosby sweater was fine. It indeed was more of even a Cosby outfit. His entire wardrobe, right? I mean, it was sort of.
I don't know. My eyes were on the sweater, and then I started thinking about Freddy and his sweater.
Right.
Maybe these guys will have a sweater off.
They might have.
And
They
the-
shop at the same store. They both go to Old Navy for the discounts, and
I thought his death might turn into a thing where his sweater starts turning into a Freddy sweater.
oh
That
yeah,
might have been fun.
yeah. That his sweater goes on a midnight run. Am I right?
This has been this corner.
Yeah.
Henry Foley.
There's a reason, I guess, that he vowed never to give it to me again. So where are you playing again, Jason? Next, what's going on?
Where's that power cable at? That's what I'm wondering, right?
I don't know. You know, it's funny because I actually use my computer when we record. I keep it plugged in.
Oh,
I don't have to worry about that.
You can't move around. You don't have the versatility.
Well, it doesn't look like he has much either.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to leave the two of us alone again either.
No, they're gonna be edited out.
That's right.
Hard
right,
edit.
he's back.
Gonna be a hard edit on all that. All right.
What?
Well, we have a show again. Okay.
What'd you talk about?
Nothing of consequence.
We were trying.
I'm the
You might have
glue
to-
that holds this enterprise together,
I
and it's
think
all
you are,
staying into the episode.
I think you are the glue, my friend.
So
Get us back up again.
Get
There-
us back on track. Yeah.
there's did we talk about what's her name? Zane? What's the actress's name?
Oh yes.
What, you had a crush on her?
Well, physically, yes, but she is the one I was talking about earlier.
What? I think she's totally fine.
She is one of the worst actresses we've ever covered on this show.
I think you're nuts.
Ever.
I looked her up on IMDb, fully expecting her to have a career still today, and she does. And she is one of the main characters on one of my favorite TV shows of all time,
which is
Prophet.
yeah. Well, okay, but she is.
Hey,
God
which leads me to believe I only have one thing on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and promote it right now.
I remember that.
I once was very drunk with my friend Nathaniel, and we wrote and recorded and made a music video for a hip-hop song about the TV show Prophet, which was canceled after 8 episodes on Fox in 1996. And
But your video was not canceled.
no, that's still up there. You can find it under I Smell Bobby. That's the name of it. Yeah.
Lisa Zane is awful.
She's totally fine.
She is the most unemotive person. I mean, it is wooden. It's unbelievable.
I thought she was bad, and I would think that, but then she would have a scene where I felt like she was fine. Like I felt like scene for scene, I kept going back and forth between the two of your opinions, really.
Maybe she wasn't right for this movie. I don't know. But, like, it's weird because you're never quite sure how important she's supposed to be. At first, she's just sort of like the headmaster of this weird kids' academy. But then, like, it turns out she's Freddy's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. What's this? How's the reveal go? Because John Doe thinks he's the son.
I know. And he's so fucking full of himself for thinking that. What a piece of
really
shit
is.
John Doe is.
Big
He just
ego.
assumes that he's Freddy's kid.
It's a real Blade Runner 2 situation, am I right?
That's right. You're very right. You're
That
very
movie
right.
went in one ear and out the other.
So did the podcast that it was based on.
I like that podcast. We get a flashback to Freddy as a kid. How about that? It was a real
Oh, yeah,
Rob
he's got
Zombie
his mic.
situation.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
That was unexpected. I thought that might go somewhere, and then that got weird too because I was trying to figure out something. Okay, maybe you guys can help me out. So he is in a marriage. He has a daughter, and he has the in his basement where he's building all kinds of claws and shit. So I assume at that point is already an active child murderer.
That's right.
Correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
This is where it gets confusing because he then later states, and this might be an editing problem or a Henry not paying attention problem. He then later states that the reason he started killing children was because they took his child away from him. So which came first? Did he just start killing kids, or did he? What's going on?
Well, maybe he was
'Cause that
killing
gives him-
adults, and then he switched to kids because he kills. Maybe he's not
You know
killing
what I'm
people
talking
yet.
about, though?
We know that he
Yeah, he
killed
hasn't
his
started.
wife, but then what does the kid see in that room? Remember, she like
Yeah, just
opens the
weapons
door
and
and she's
gloves
freaked
and
out.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
No bodies, right?
Right. No.
But
correct.
what is he
All-
building these fucking weapons for?
Exactly.
Well, he
So
wants to
I
kill
guess
something.
if he hasn't actually killed anybody, he's just
Well,
an abusive husband.
We
and a-
do know that they try to give Freddy some motive for murder
Right.
in this movie.
Right.
So we get to see him killing animals as a kid. Maybe he's still
Right.
doing that as an adult. We also find out he was like a cutter as a teenager.
Right. He's a cutter. He kills gerbils.
So maybe the gloves were for himself. He needs to cut himself better.
Yeah, maybe they were just left over from Alice Cooper when he wasn't on tour. All of his
Alice Cooper's in this movie. He plays Freddy's dad. Freddy's abusive dad.
he does.
That is crazy. Well, why not bring the "Welcome to My Nightmare" guy into the final
Alice
nightmare?
Cooper, by the way, one of the nicest people on earth.
Absolutely, I rung him up at Barnes and Noble a few times.
Did you really?
Yes.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, man. That's really cool. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway.
By the way,
What's that?
you get past Freddy 101.
Freddy 101?
Remember the fucking scene with the teacher,
No.
and he's teaching to an empty class, and then they come in.
Oh
and
yeah, I
all
kind of do remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to leave you hanging there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what more do you say about this? We get that flashback. I really enjoyed that. And then, they show him getting burned. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The parents
right,
all
right.
burning him. And then it seems what happened there was as he was being burned alive, these three tadpole, they're like these three demon sperm. They like showed up
Right.
like as
Yeah.
he was dying, and they were able to like speak to him and say like, do you want these powers? How about some dream powers?
Yeah, they just show up. They don't show him being part of a druid cult or anything like that. They just kind of
They show up, and
They
he's
just
he's
like-
like, all right, that sounds real good, actually.
right.
Yeah.
because I'm getting burned alive here. Sure,
an
I'll take
oppor-
that.
Yeah,
Might
it's
as
an
well.
opportunity.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity. I'm being burned alive. I'll take it. And,
Can I bring my hat and my favorite sweater?
Yeah, he's like, wait. He's like, wait, hold on. Grab the hat.
They look they're out of Nightmare Before Christmas or something to me.
It's something like
I'm-
that. I
There
think
were actually a few sequences in this movie that reminded me of, again, we said this a while ago, but now we're post Beetlejuice. Did it not remind you of Beetlejuice a little bit? Some of the graphics?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Burden.
Right.
Burton
going
was
on.
huge at the time. I also think there's got to be, in terms of horror movies, an influence of Hellraiser.
Oh.
I think Hellraiser really
Yeah, 'cause they
opened
go
the
to
door.
dark these-
Yeah,
these-
the
yeah.
whole like supernatural piece in horror was really opened up by Hellraiser, and proving that you can do that and like still make it a slasher movie and shit.
Mhm.
Interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jason Goes to Hell was like that too, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I forgot about one other thing too that I actually found surprising, because at this point I was surprised he would do this, but I guess he hadn't fully become Johnny Depp on yet.
Yep.
But he'd
How
come
about
back.
that?
Yeah.
He comes back and actually did that for this movie, huh?
He did. It was a little commercial. It was, and I love when these movies like riff on commercials of the day.
Yeah,
It's like, this is your brain on drugs. He does, but I
Right.
mean that happens all over this fucking movie. There's like specific Nintendo references strewn around. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he comments on the graphics at one point.
Yes.
Nice graphics.
It's so ridiculous. It's like, I don't think graphics will ever be better than this, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, Picoto, by the way.
Did you happen to catch what Johnny Depp was credited as in the credits?
No.
This is just about the most Johnny Depp thing in the world. He went as Oprah Noodle Mantra.
What?
Yep.
Jesus, good catch. Did you see that? Did you notice that by looking it up, or did you notice it when you want?
I have noticed it in the closing credits. Because I was watching that sweet montage of the most classic moments from Nightmare on Elm Street, baby.
I actually did watch that too.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it, but I turned it off. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I love that they picked some scenes from the movie we just watched. We know what's going to hold up, man.
Yeah, it's true. When they were doing that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. So they're going to go through 1 through 5. And then it was like, wait, what? Huh? Yeah.
We didn't talk about a really bizarre aspect to this film.
Tom Arnold and Roseanne?
Well, there's that. But this was released as like a 3D movie.
Oh my God, that's right!
It was only for the last like quarter of the film.
Not even, man.
That's what I read.
It's like 10 minutes from the end of the... Yeah.
Just for that.
Yes.
That's so bizarre to me.
10 minutes from the end of the movie, Lisa Zane puts on the 3D glasses, and that, I guess, was a signal to the audience, like, it's time. And,
right.
You know, watching it in 2D, you can sort of tell what the 3D was like, and it's just fucking insane. You know, they really went for kind of a fucking shitty Freddy version of, like, the fucking, Space Child shit in 2001.
Yeah. Do you think that
they've done this, where there's been only just like, oh, there's 5 minutes at the end, that's your 3D?
It's weird because like it's not like this is unprecedented. There was a whole Friday the 13th movie in 3D. Like, why would they just do 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, I also wonder, because I read the thing about it was like a signal to the audience too, but I wonder if when you went to the movie, the usher,
has to tell you, yeah. When the one girl puts on the glasses,
So we're waiting the entire film, thinking you might have missed it. Occasionally putting on your glasses.
Right.
That 100%. If you like look at pictures of the audience from back then, it's just people trying them periodically.
Shit. Yeah.
I think mine are broken. Maybe I should go talk to the.
No, I mean, it had to be someone's job to just stand at the door. No, it hasn't happened yet.
You're fine.
I did like the last bit of 3D though, when Freddy gets decapitated and his head just sort of comes toward the camera. And it looked like Jaws 3D, and then the three sperm things like pop out of Freddy's head, and they hurtle towards the camera. It was pretty great.
See ya. Yeah,
it really is. It was like that's all, folks. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. They almost kind of giggled when they left too, wasn't it? It was really bizarre. Speaking of giggling, so Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold show up, and I was very confused at the moment. And then I remembered, they were real big as a duo.
They were extraordinarily
popular. It's a mercifully
popular.
Short cameo, though.
Yeah, true.
It is.
I was like, oh, now we got to deal with this.
Right.
Well, look. let's think about this in 1991 terms, though. Roseanne was a great show, and like
great, I think, despite her,
but I think like there were like I liked She Devil, and I think
Really?
yeah,
All right.
like Roseanne was kind of awesome back then.
all right. Hey, I did love the show. I did religiously watch the show when I was a kid, and I liked
when I was
that.
a kid, I liked it too, but
Lower
I've
class,
never really liked it,
working people. I enjoyed that.
right.
Working white people. Let's be honest.
Well,
all right.
white people definitely. Yeah.
Right.
Look, listen, Roseanne, I'm glad we're rid of her. But if we're looking at 1991, I probably would have been excited to see her.
Yeah, I just can't. I was immediately reminded of the SNL stuff with when Chris Farley played Tom Arnold, and I think it was Victoria Jackson playing the great Victoria Jackson.
Victoria Roseanne Jackson and Roseanne probably get along real well these days.
I would imagine, right? Oh, that's right. Victoria lost her mind too 1,000,000 years ago. But Chris Farley's Tom Arnold was genius. So I was just thinking about that. Now that would have been something to put in the movie.
I know. Isn't it a bummer that Farley's dead and Tom Arnold still lives?
I know, man.
Yeah.
I know. Man.
You know what the kids say right after they meet Roseanne and Tom? They go, "We're in real Twin Peaks area here." Huh?
Yeah, what a reference, right?
Yeah.
And don't we have a
That's
cast
right,
member
yeah.
from the fifth one who was in Twin Peaks?
Well, you forget though, 1991, like Twin Peaks was a hit show.
Oh yeah. But don't you? I'm right, aren't I? The one who plays like the model in Freddy 5 was in Twin Peaks.
No,
Oh,
you're
right.
thinking of Majin Amick, and that's not who that is.
No, I'm not thinking of her. I know exactly who you're talking about. I am right. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Somebody from one of these goddamn movies was in Twin Peaks, but I don't know
That's
which
right.
one.
That's right.
I don't know. Look, fucking, hey,
Fuck this-
has
that's,
Tom Arnold found the Trump P tapes yet?
He's working on it.
He is working on it. He's got a whole show about it. It's like finding Bigfoot, but for fucking douchebag liberals.
Remember me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? Is that it for Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare?
Yeah, and I was right. Erica Anderson, who played Greta the model in 5, was in Twin Peaks. Thank you very much.
Who was she in Twin Peaks?
She played Selena Swift.
And you remembered that?
No, not at all. I was doing a superhero count and found it out.
She was in fucking Twin Peaks. I don't
Look her up
believe
right
that.
Guest appearances on Silk Stockings, Dream On, Twin Peaks.
Silk Stockings. I love that show.
Yeah, great stuff.
Oh, all right, guys. What do you give this movie?
Ooh.
It's
I
a
think
solid 1 for me.
Yeah, I think I'm going 1. I don't know.
I'm still
I've
at
had
it,
more
too.
fun talking about it with you guys that made me want to go 2, but I'm realizing the fun I'm having is just discussing how bad it was. So it's 1.
I'm a totally solid 2. Oh, you know who she is on fucking Twin Peaks? Remember they're super into a soap opera on that show, and every so often you see like clips from it.
That's right. That's right. Selena Swift.
Yeah, she's like a fake soap opera character. Okay.
I want to give one quick shout out to the amazing soundtrack that was written for this movie, the score. For the first 10 minutes, it is Mussorgsky's Night on Bald Mountain. No, it's not. It's a guy just completely taking that exact piece of music and not even altering it and turning it into his own score. I mean, we've talked about lifting from classical composers, but you both know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
I enjoyed Freddy murdering somebody with Inagata Davida.
That was I like that. That's
Probably my second favorite use of Inagata Davida in
Manhunter.
a film. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to the great Mussorgsky who died over 100 years ago. Thank you for lending your music.
I'm sure he enjoys it.
MVP.
Who is that? Your MVP, Henry?
No, Yaphet Kotto. We didn't even talk about
Of course.
He's the only guy in here who can truly
Well,
act.
he's a doctor in this movie.
Yeah, he's kind of an important role, but
it's such a
whatever.
weird fucking movie. There's one scene where like they go back to the home and like Freddy has made everyone forget that John Doe kid ever existed.
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, but Yaphet Kotto remembers him. My
Gives them the
MVP, I'm gonna go with that girl, the younger girl,
Tracy.
Sure, she was pretty good.
All right.
Who are you going with, Jason? Who'd you go with, MVP?
MVP, I'm going Alice Cooper.
I'm fine with that.
That's great. That's great. LVP for me, a clear and present danger of Lisa Zane.
Okay. What about you?
LVP, going Roseanne Barr.
Listen, I get it, man. I've done that before where it's just like for who you are. I'm giving it to you. Like, remember Home Alone 2? I think I gave it to Trump just because when else am I going to get the chance?
We both did because
Yeah.
you're never going to get the chance.
Sure. LVP, I don't know, man. This fucking movie. I'm going to give it to Robert Englund. I found him annoying in this movie.
He was. I agree.
This was the height of his laughing at his own jokes and being the fucking wicked witch. He's just like yelling and laughing. It was irritating. Yeah.
Yeah, he was mugging the whole time. I totally agree.
Yeah. All right. Superhero count? All right. It broke up during that, and I love it. We only got part of that. Yeah. Anyway, what's the superhero count?
Only 3, but they're pretty good. Lisa Zane was in the Iron Man the Animated Series playing Madame Mask. She was also in the Incredible Hulk cartoon playing She-Hulk. Ricky Dean Logan, who played Carlos, the deaf man in this movie. Remember Carlos, the deaf?
Yeah. I mean, he was a major character.
Yeah. He was in the very successful 1994 Fantastic Four movie, playing the legendary Marvel character, the Bus Boy.
The Roger Corman one? Wait,
Yes.
what? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Live action. And Jason's LVP and the world's Roseanne Barr.
What superhero movie was Roseanne Barr in?
She was in 6 episodes of the 2014 cartoon of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The Rat King?
Krang Prime.
She is Krang. That's a great casting choice, actually.
Wow.
That's exactly what I thought. Yep, just a blob in somebody's stomach.